listening to the Find Your Voice NYC podcast. Let's jump right in. Thanks for tuning in to the Find Your Voice NYC podcast. It is so good to be back here with you. On Friday's episode, I'm going to dig a little deeper and explain to you why I wasn't here, and it'll be a very personal episode, so please tune in. But for today, let's jump right in. Find your tribe. Okay, this is one of the biggest things that comes up time and time again in various different ways throughout my life, be it in the entertainment world or be it in my coaching sessions, be it when I could be working with a mid-level executive, I could be working with a potential college student. It's everywhere, my good people. And so I believe this is one of those universal things that we as human beings are just destined to, try and fail and try and succeed and, over and over and over again. But finding your tribe is so crucial to your success, not just your financial success, right? It's crucial to your emotional success, your health, your well-being, your career, your romance. Like, it's so beneficial and so important in so many different ways that I really wanted to take the time, especially coming back after such a long break, right? I really wanted to take the time to really just focus on this. So I've identified 5 things that you can do to find your tribe. The first thing is know yourself. Now, this is the hardest one. That's why we put it first. Knowing yourself requires you to do something that you may not be comfortable doing, and that is acknowledge some hard and personal truths. You have to ask yourself who you are. You have to ask yourself what you want, what you need, what you don't want, what you don't need, where you see yourself going. Maybe sometimes ask yourself why you did certain things in the past, right? Just in order to use that information as a learning tool to move forward and avoid roadblocks in the future. It's so important to know yourself from the perspective of connecting with other people, because it then allows you to have a framework by which to deal with other people. If you're one of those people who goes into situations, relationships, interpersonal, professional, whatever the case may be, and you don't know yourself, it leaves you open to being influenced by others in ways that may not be beneficial to you. That, my good people, is called peer pressure. And that is, as we all know from surviving elementary and in high school, a very difficult time in our lives because we are still in our formative years. As an adult, we have to know ourselves, take the time to know ourselves. And here's what I say. I like to work in a very real place with my clients and people I deal with. Look, if you know yourself, but you aren't ready to deal with yourself, that's one thing. But if you don't know yourself because you've chosen not to visit you, discover you, uncover you, then you need to, that's something you need to really sit down and ask yourself why. Know what you need is our second one. Okay, this is like a 6 degrees of separation from knowing yourself. Knowing what you need means asking yourself, what do you need? What do you want? And being real about that. And I think the difficult part about the knowing yourself and the knowing what you need is it sometimes means you have to let things go. And we like to hold on to stuff, don't we? Right? We have that junk drawer that we keep. We have that lockbox that has papers that are no longer, meaningful to us. We hold on to things, those birthday cards, those letters, and those keepsakes. We hold on to all this stuff because they have emotional value or sentimental value, but they don't have practical value. Knowing what you need is not just about knowing how you feel, but it's about knowing what you need resource-wise and tool-wise to be successful. Knowing yourself is knowing that emotional state, right? Because you may need X, but maybe you don't feel like using X. And maybe you don't have the desire to use X and your passion isn't there. So you have to be honest and real with yourself so you know that when you get what you need, you can actually use it. The third is different tribes, right? And this isn't a different strokes for different folks kind of thing, though in some ways it is. It's really more about don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm sure we've all heard that from our parents and grandparents, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't connect with one tribe or one person or one group of people and say, okay, this is it. These people are going to be my foundation and I'm going to build a world around them. That is cute. And I'm not saying it can't be done because in some cases it is. But let's think of like executives, mid-level executives who go into their job and they're working and doing their thing. And let's say they're doing project management. A lot of times those people will leave project management and go freelancing. Why? Because they've developed a network that goes outside of the work they're doing and supersedes that work and allows them to make these connections, meaningful connections with other people. That leads to them growing their own personal business or consulting when they retire or maybe they leave. You know, I have clients who are leaving their positions and moving forward in other directions. And they've done that work to finding a tribe that's going to help them to do that. Multiple relationships is our fourth point. This is also very important, right? And when I say multiple relationships, I'm talking about multiple relationship types. These can be formal and informal. You're going to have the person who's going to be your friend. And this is going to be the person you sit down with over coffee or wine at the wine bar, my personal favorite. And you have your little sip and your little chocolate and cheese or whatever it is you're doing. And you say to your friend, hey, I'm working on this idea and da-da-da-da-da. And your friend who is not putting money in your pocket, right? Your friend says to you, hey, well, did you think about this? And it's a great idea. You're sitting with your coach and you're talking to your coach or your mentor. Hey, I'm looking at this. I'm looking into doing this. And your coach and your mentor says, well, here's some things to consider. Here's some resources to think about. And let's get an action plan in place. Right? You are talking to a client and you say to your client, hey, I'm transitioning into doing this and this is happening. And your client says, great, we're working on a project right now that I think you'd be great for. Like there's so many different levels to finding your tribe. Don't look at your tribe myopically. Allow your tribe to live and breathe in this space in the same way you do. You know, and occupy that space fully and completely with all of your needs and all of your knowledge of self and all of your different tribes. Lastly, try new things. Now, you may think that going to that same networking event every single Thursday after work and talking to the same people and drinking cocktails and having a good time and going home and saying, yay, I networked. You may think that that's being successful at networking and trying something new. It is not. The first thing I want you to do is sign up for my online workshop, Networking for People Who Hate Networking. It's available on the first Thursday of every month, and it's available at fyvnyc.eventbrite.com. The second thing I want you to do is to realize that trying new things is an integral part in knowing yourself, knowing what you need, finding different tribes, and establishing multiple different relationship types in order for you to be successful. Thanks for tuning in to the Find Your Voice NYC podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're interested in my coaching services, feel free to connect with me at findyourvoicenyc.com. That's findyourvoicenyc.com.